Primal Pursuit is a Roblox game where you survive against a dinosaur for 5 minutes and players choose what dino they can use. There are a total of 12 dinos in the game, excluding event and gamepass dinos, with 3 that I classified as early game dinos, which are the T-Rex, Pachy and Raptor. Today I'll see which one is the best for people who are just starting out this game. T-Rex is the first dinosaur on this game that you get, as it is free. At 42 speed, 2000 base health and 150 damage, it has pretty good stats except for speed, as it is the slowest dino in game, tied with the D-Rex, aka the monster, which has the same speed but can only be attained during Halloween. It is also a medium-sized dino, if not slightly above medium size. This means that it has a bigger hitbox when using its bite, but it's more at risk of losing its health. However, since it has 2000 base health, it can take a few hits from weaker guns like pistol or shotgun, but can easily get shredded by LMG. Keep in mind that this is just base health. It can have way more health than that depending on the amount of players and their levels. It has the highest damage out of the 3 early game dinos, but it's still not enough to kill a person with a medkit buff, which gives 60 extra HP, so it's pretty damn close. The bad thing about T-Rex is its speed, as it gets outsped by most cars in game with only a few cars that are slower or the same speed, such as ATV or golf cart. Its special move, Stomp, can deal 225 damage, but requires timing when being used. If, for example, you have a banana car coming towards you, you want to use Stomp if it's getting close, not when it's right under you or going away from you. Stomp also does not one-shot players and has a cooldown of 15 seconds. My tips for using Rex is only use Run when necessary, as its slow speed should be used to the fullest, so don't waste it when you are not near any cars. When it is near the end of the round, always go to the middle of the map, as you can easily access one of the 2 escape areas in time without worrying about players being there already. Once the helicopter arrives, play defensive and do not target one person. Pachy is the cheapest dino in the game that isn't free, at 300 bones. It has 51 speed, 1100 base health, and 115 damage. Its speed is alright, but gets outsped by a lot of cars, but can catch up to a few more cars than T-Rex, including hybrid and go-kart, although go-karts are really fast acceleration. Its base health is a lot lower than T-Rex with a 900 health difference, but not as bad as Raptor's base health, I guess. This basically means it can't tank as much and requires you to conserve health a bit more. This is easy to do as Pachy though, as its size is smaller, meaning that it has a smaller hitbox, but trying to hit it will be harder. Its 150 damage means it cannot kill people with a medkit buff and can 3 or 4 shot most cars. Its ability is Round, which can do 100 damage but also blinds the player in the car and does 50 damage to the player as well. This can make a really good counter to people with a medkit buff as long as you destroy the car on time. It also has a cooldown of 20 seconds. My tips would be to conserve as much health as possible by not being too aggressive. Only use your Run when you find a car and they begin to drive off, or accelerate it so you can keep a speed with the car. Towards the end of the round, stay in between both helipads until one is chosen and play defensive until you reach the end of the round, or kill the remaining players. The Raptor has some of the lowest stats out of the last 2 dinos except for speed and costs 1250 bones. At 72 speed, 1000 base health and 100 damage, it can catch up to most cars and is the second most fastest dino behind Raptor, which has a speed of 80. Raptor can catch up to cars like pickup truck and accelerating banana car. However, it has the lowest base health of any dino in the game, which means health conservation is really important when using this dino. It can get easily destroyed by good guns like the LMG or IWS, and even guns that aren't considered late game like the water gun or AR dino. It also has the lowest damage of any dino in the game, as it 4 or 5 shots most cars and does not one-shot people with a medkit buff. Its special ability is camouflage, which makes it invisible. It is one of the only dinos in the game which does not have an ability that deals damage. When invisible, you have an advantage as you can easily sneak up on cars, but your footsteps can still be seen by players when you move. There's a cooldown of 30 seconds. My tips for using Raptor would be that you should avoid people on watchtowers, as you can easily get mode bound by not only the player on the watchtower but the players around you. Use your speed only when a car is about to accelerate, as you could keep a speed with the car you are chasing down and deal as much damage as possible. Towards the end of the round, go to the middle of the map and play defensive once the helipad area gets chosen. With T-Rex, Pachy and Raptor now explained and analysed, which one really is the best? Keep in mind that a lot of dinos depend on your playstyle, skill and device you play on and more. For me, I would say I'm medium skill. I also play pretty aggressive and play on an Xbox, so my ratings differ from yours if you are, for example, a mobile player. Although brought down by the fact it has slow speed, it can be really good in situations where you aren't against extremely fast cars, as you can take a lot of damage usually and destroy most cars within 2 to 3 bites. However, timing of bites and ability is pretty crucial to using this dino, which can make it slightly hard for new players, but overall, I would give it a 7 out of 10 for being a starter dino, and 5 out of 10 compared to all the base dinos. Pachy is a really good dino for me. Although conserving health can be slightly hard, you can still do a lot of damage if you can catch up to cars on time, especially when paired with its ram ability. However, using your run effectively can be hard for new players who aren't really familiar with how acceleration works in this game. For a starter dino, it's definitely a 9 out of 10 for me, but for an overall dino, a 6 out of 10. Raptor is probably one of the worst dinos in the game when compared with other dinos, but keep in mind that doesn't mean it's terrible overall. Its bite damage is really bad, as it requires you to keep up with the car you are attacking and hope you destroy it in time without it outspeeding you. However, camouflage can be very helpful if you use it effectively, considering most new players probably won't notice the footsteps you have. As a starter dino, it is a 5 out of 10, but as an overall dino, 3 out of 10. In conclusion, the best starter dino for me is Pachy. When used correctly, you can win rounds easily whether you play aggressive or defensive. However, this may differ considering how you play and what device you play on. The best way to find out what is best for you is to try out all 3 of the dinos and see which one you enjoy or win with more. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!